What's up, guys? We're here with Jacob. He got first place today playing. What did you play today?
I played PK.
Let's
Adventure.
go, PK. Show us what you got here. Don't forget. Oh, any shows you want to give today? I forgot about those.
East Coast Games. Check out their channel, and that's about it. Everyone else here sucks.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And well, let's show us what you got.
3 scales. I'm on the Adventure Engines. I still like playing 3 because it's worst case scenario full combo, so it is something you can see. 3 boots, best one. I'm playing 3 cloak and 2 gloves.
2 is interesting.
Yeah, I upped the number of each of these from the standard number by 1 each, mostly because I'm playing 48 cards, and I liked the ratio of 3, 3, 2, 1 on 40, but I was drawing my bad cards too much, so I wanted to keep like about 23% of the deck as PKs, so I could up either both of these by 1, and it doesn't really matter because seeing 1 PK plus an extender is exactly what you want.
Fair enough.
So,
no Greaves in this deck.
No Greaves. I don't like that card very much. It very rarely comes up, and it's a bad PK to see, so it's just
Fair enough.
it's not fantastic. I am playing Graf and Seer. Power it adds to the deck is just really good. It lets you kill people going second because you just get a free link 2 and it opens up access code lines. I mean, you can make a case for not playing it. Honestly, it's...
At 48, it's like, you don't really see them that often. If
yeah,
you do, it's
like,
fine.
it is strong enough to warrant playing, so I do like them. And extenders... We've got a Kagemusha Knight, mostly because it turns Rhoda into a PK or an extender, which is pretty much the only reason I'd play this. You could play Junk Fort if you wanted to, but I like Kagemusha because it's a dark and kind of helps as extending sometimes. These were also the numbers that, the extenders that I bumped up because I went from 40 to 48, and I wanted to keep my extender ratio about the same, so I bumped up by playing the Dangers. 2 of those. The Psychic extenders, the little 3s, and 3 E-Tellies because their E-Telly is better to see.
Are you playing any Ogres or no?
No Ogres, no. It's not really that great, and it's honestly not a fantastic card to see.
Fair enough.
It's weak. It does open up some potential utility, but it's just not really worth it. 1 Foolish.
It's pretty standard in a PK deck.
Yeah, it's not too bad. If your Graf gets like Ashed or something, you can Foolish Seer and summon back Graf and keep going from there, or you can just Foolish one of the PKs. It's pretty solid, worth playing. You can also dump the Adventure Engine. I'm on pretty standard Adventure Engine here, 3/3, and there it is. Yeah, 3/3, 1 Griffin, and no Illegal Knight. I don't really like Illegal Knight. It's another bad card that you don't want to see, and you probably want to go for Wandering Griffin almost every game anyway, so you don't get blown out by evenly, because you really don't have that many negates in this deck. So the only thing that Illegal Knight would help with is it just turns right into a 1-card dark. So it sometimes helps you play, but most of the time that never comes up. So,
Devil being a level 3 is also cracked. Don't forget
yeah,
that.
this also serves as an extender if you're opening with multiple like right and temples or multiple temples. It's actually just really good because they're also extenders. Like, this engine is absurd in this deck, and it's the reason that I'm on 48. Because you really don't want to see these cards. Same with Graf and Seer. And if you're on 40 cards, then you're...
5 cards are bricks, essentially, or soft
Yeah,
bricks.
exactly. And in this deck, there's no real 1 card that you want to see. You mostly just want to see one of your PKs and an extender. So it's a ratio deck, and since the PKs don't really matter, you just need to see 1, then you can just play more cards, and it's honestly fine. You just lower your chances of playing bricks, but you don't lower your chances of seeing like good cards in your hand.
Fair enough.
So I think the best version of this deck plays somewhere between 48 and 51 cards.
Some math with Jacob.
For the traps, I played 1 Wing. It comes up because you want to use multiple Reborn effects in a turn sometimes. 2 Fog Blades. I didn't really like 3. I found you brick on it too much, and I mean, sometimes it's okay in hands, but it doesn't actually help you get going, so it's fine at 2. And I do play 1 Shade, so it's useful sometimes. It can help you extend through effect negation on like Cherubini or whatever. If you have one of your searchers engraved, you can search this and go for Rusty and still end on like a Fog Blade or 2. I like having 4 targets for Rusty and Boots. I think having 3 would be too few, and having 5 is probably too much just because you don't really want to see them.
Fair enough.
And for Go Second cards, 3 Imperm, 3 Dark Ruler, 3 Eclipse, and 3 Talents.
Okay. Interesting to have 3 talents there.
Yeah, Talents is awesome. I love this card, especially with the Adventure Engine, because activating Templar right almost always prompts interaction, and then Talents being live is just awesome because you can go either for hand and just get full knowledge and know exactly what you want your end board to be, or you can try drawing. I almost always go for hand with it. Imperm is the only hand trap. I side more, but it's good as a 6th card, which is why I chose this one instead. It usually doesn't conflict with Shade too often because a lot of the time you're not going for Shade, but Imperm is really good, talents are good, and these cards are kind of whatever. I still think they're better than hand traps because you want, in 48 cards, you want like the 1 or 2 go second cards you see to be absolute blowout and have the highest impact possible.
Fair enough.
Multiple hand traps in a PK hand just isn't that good. I was thinking about playing Bestials instead of one of these, probably Magnamuts and a Druis, just because it helps with the Dragon matchup, which is borderline unwinnable. And it also just helps you get to dark lines too. Like summoning Magnamut is almost full combo. It's just pretty solid because you just go for dark and bring something back and go rusty. So
pretty nice.
yeah, and then Dark Ruler is again just like a blowout card. It's fine. Like these are for sure up for interpretation. You can change what you play. I would consider Bestials. The extra deck, Access Code,
Mandatory.
obviously. Appaloosa, pretty good. I don't usually go for it too often. It's nice because you can use Shade Brigandine to go for it as well. 1 Rusty, 1 Cherubini. These are the bread and butter. Obviously, you want to play at least one of each of those. I don't think you need more. Unicorn, mostly just for clearing things and as a 3 for access code. Dark, I think I tried playing without Dark and I would never do it again. This card is great.
Insane.
It helps you get to Rusty, helps you play with hands that you otherwise wouldn't be able to play with. It's also very good with talents, taking Darks and stuff. 1 IP, sometimes you don't want to end on Evilswarm Nightmare and you'd rather just use them to make IP and use the boots to search another Fogblade instead. 1 Nightmare Phoenix. It's pretty solid. Honestly, the best use for it is just discarding a card out of your hand if you have like a Torn Scales and another PK and you just need to get the other one out of hand. It's pretty okay. It's
Fair
decent
enough.
for clearing back row. 1 Zeus.
We're on the Arc Rebellion.
Yeah, we are on Arc Rebellion. It can steal games. Honestly, it's been okay. You probably don't need it, but it is good. When it comes up, it comes up big, so... I mean,
the card's pretty brilliant.
Yeah. 1 Downer comes up a lot because it turns a Break Sword into a 2-wipe Zeus, or it can turn a Revived Break Sword into a Zeus, and it also stops Break Sword from getting banished, so it's in the grave again for extra PK revival.
Nice.
1 Nightmare, this is usually what I end on just because it's pretty good against almost every deck right now. So that's really the end board is just Rusty plus Fogblade or 2 and a Nightmare, and then also Cherubini. This Cherubini is actually pretty good to end on because it threatens extra follow-up, and if they try and run over it, you can just send like a Draco back that's equipped and re-equip it.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Also, this card's like just double Book of Moon, boys. Double Book of Moon.
Yeah, very good. And 2 Breaksword. I mean, this is the best card. I wouldn't want to play without 2 because with Raiders Knight, you can also get 3 pops by making this under a Rusty pop. Use its effect, go for whatever it is there, the Raiders Knight, and then Raiders Knight rank down into another one and pop again. I don't play Levier. I don't think Levier is that great anymore. It's really only good if your Temple gets Ashed and you want to summon it back on like turn 3, or for some Appaloosa lines, but most of the time it just doesn't really matter. A lot of the time, like, it doesn't
games
come up.
don't really go to turn 3 anymore anyways, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, so I cut it for Downard, and I think Downard's come up a couple times. And side deck, because we're on 48 cards, it doesn't make sense to side go first cards, really, because you're just less likely to see them, so you may as well just side more blowout go second cards. So for back row decks, we've got Nib for just massive combo decks. Bestials, this should be Magnamut, but it's not. I don't have them yet. And yeah, this is good against most decks, to be honest. It's also part of your engine since it is a dark. Can be used to go for Rusty. Bestials are really good. Would consider maining them. Ash for branded, and Droll for just miscellaneous decks that do a bunch of searching.
Fair enough. So when you slide, would you go second or would you decide to go first sometimes?
It depends on the matchup a lot of the time. Like, if I think my opponent is siding really heavy to go first or second, like if they're siding heavy to go second, I might make them go first and then just side in a bunch of hand traps, because with 48 cards it doesn't matter so much after siding because you can side out a bunch of other cards and you'll just have like a ton of go second cards anyway. So it's okay in that sense, and also like the Bestials are awesome go second cards.
Oh yeah, the Bestials are actually one of the most insane cards we've ever gotten like in the recent years.
Yeah, if it's a deck that I think I can realistically break their board, a lot of the time I will make them go first. But if it's like Gimmick Puppet Lock or something, then there's no shot that I'm risking that.
Fair enough, fair enough. And would you say, what's the hardest matchup for this? You said Dragon Link, but...
Dragon Link is borderline unwinnable because their engine actually just beats your engine, and then their non-engine also just beats your engine, so you may as well just pray that they don't draw any good cards.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, congratulations once again, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Thanks.